Hello everyone, it's Varus, and in this video I'm going to give you a full update on the nation's weather and any impacts such as the hurricane outlook, severe outlook, alerts and issuances, and more. So let's get right into it. So right now I have the alerts pulled up, and we've been talking about the alerts. It has been much of the same story, but however we have had some heat alerts dropped in the northwest U.S. and north central U.S. However, we still have some heat advisories, red flag warnings, and other heat and fire related, as well as some special weather statements over here could be fire related. So please stay safe out there in the west with this extreme heat and fire concerns, as well as there are some dense fog advisories over in Washington State, Oregon, and Idaho. So please watch out if you're driving over there. And lastly, just some other fire areas in California, flood warnings and watches all up for portions of New Mexico, Texas, and the Carolinas. So those are your alerts. Take a look for yourself, and we're going to go right on to the severe outlook. Now, severe outlook hasn't been much of a story. However, we still do have severe weather active, and so I'm still going to give you guys a nice update. Little marginal areas over here in areas of Minnesota, the north central U.S., over here in the Dakotas and Nebraska, Utah, and Nevada, as well as down here in New Mexico and Arizona, as well as just some regular general thunder. Main risks, there is actually small tornado risk up here for Minnesota and North Dakota, so please stay safe for anyone out there. Just keep an eye out for any brief spin-ups. Wind is going to be the main threat for all marginal risk, and hail is again a 5% for the same area with the tornado risk. So main more impactful risk would be up here in the North Dakota and Minnesota. So please stay safe there and still anywhere else you are. Getting into day 2, a little more active with a slight risk actually coming up because of an upper level disturbance. Tornado 2%, wind 15%, and hail is also 15%. So wind, so damaging wind, large hail, and a brief spin up or two is definitely the main threats for tomorrow's outlook. Lastly, day 3, just a wide marginal risk for all the Dakotas, Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, as well as areas of Minnesota, most of Minnesota. So that's your severe outlook. Now getting on to the main story, the tropics. So right now in the Atlantic, we don't have anything. We do have a couple tropical waves coming off the northern coast of Africa, so we're going to take a look at those in a bit. Eastern Pacific, another chance of development along the Mexican coast, 0% next 48 hours, 20% in the next 5 days. And this is going to be general moving in this direction, and some slow, steady development is definitely possible, as this is right now the Pacific is in a favorable environment. So watch out for that. Right now, the main story is Tropical Storm Bud. Taking a look at that. Currently, it doesn't look that impressive on satellite, so it's probably going to weaken, and it is going to become a depression by probably later today or tomorrow, and generally just going to start curving south and west. No real impacts to land. And going on to the Central Pacific, no real disturbances. Now, I did want to take a look at Bud. This is currently Bud, and last video it was much more robust convective development, feedback. Now, very little thunderstorm activity. I mean, you have some little splotches, like this one. That's the only main prominent one I see. Overall, just a level of spin with some gusty wind. So this is definitely going to be developing soon, as you can clearly see by satellite imagery that it doesn't look that good. Getting into Tropical Depression Gamey, the one that absolutely did slam into Taiwan, sadly. There's been lots of flooding reports, especially even in northern Philippines, where they got the outer bands of Typhoon Gamey. Luckily, it has weakened, fortunately, to just a tropical depression, and some gusty winds are still possible to land. But overall, just a weak storm that will soon dissipate. So that's Gamey. Now getting into the Atlantic focus. I want to take you guys out here to the ensembles, and you know what, first I'm actually going to take you to the satellite. So the tropical wave we're really talking about, that has attention, is kind of like right here. Sorry, let me get a better, right there. That's that tropical depression we're looking out for. It's expected to generally trek in this area, kind of right here overall. Could go south, could go north, but overall it's supposed to track that way. The Euro has it developing, and then some of the ensembles have it turning north, some of it has it going into the Gulf, some has it going right into Florida, while the GFS has it coming and then just dissipating and not really turning into something. But then it kind of gets into something small and impacts areas of Louisiana and Texas. So those are really long term. First, we got to take a look at how it looks right now. Overall, it doesn't look that bad. I mean, you have convection, you have a small moist bubble, but there is a lot of dust affecting it, and there's a lot of sinking air that is affecting and making it unfavorable conditions. So let's see if it survives that, because if it does, it'll eventually get into some slightly more favorable conditions. Now we'll take a look at the ensembles. Right now I have the European ensembles pulled up. So we're just going to take it out. Let's go 90 hours. And there's some of the ensembles trying to pop off a low real quick. But before I actually talk about that, you might see some of these lines up here. Now, there is some energy coming off the Carolinas, and it's expected to kind of go like this, and it could be retrograding back into the areas of down East Maine, into the Bay, into areas of Nova Scotia. So we'll watch out. Some gusty winds and disturbed weather is possible, but nothing really impactful. Now getting back to our system, couple of lows pop off in about 90 hours, so just under 2 days. We're gonna skip all the way out to about 180 hours, and boom, there you have it. A bunch of ensembles over here. Good amount, maybe 20, 30 ensembles. And you see here that overall you see it kind of trekking in this general direction. So lastly, we're going to go out to, what is this, 180? Let's take it out to 210 real quick, just to show more. And I mean, you start seeing the stronger ensembles start to turn up and try to affect areas of the Carolinas. Many continue it in closer to Florida, and some even sneak into the Caribbean and Gulf. Again, this is far out. I'm just showing you what the ensembles show and the probability of development with this wave. Lastly, let's go the full 240 hours out. So we got some of the stronger ones kind of taking it closer to the Carolinas, Georgia. Some have completely curled it out, curving this ridge, and many also bring it into the Gulf. So that's the Euro. Now picture this with the Euro. Now we're going to take a look at the GEFS ensembles, the European ensembles and the GFS ensembles are the main two ensemble groupings, their main two modeling. So this is the European. We're going to take a look at the GEFS and one ensemble. One singular one. I don't think this is with anything with this, but one ensemble over here in the areas over here. So overall, very, 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 very big disagreement. Now, I do actually want to take you guys, or no, we can take a look at the icon real quick, just to see what some of the other models think. Oh yeah, they don't provide that type of data. Okay, so there is your little ensemble there for the GFS. I know it's crazy. European, you had all kinds of ensembles, all kinds of solutions. Here you have one ensemble. So we'll see if this changes. Now, real quick, I'm not sure exactly how to get over here. Oh, we can go here. Other regions. I don't want to leave the Pacific hanging. So we're going to go to the East Pacific just to show you guys what could happen with this next tropical wave. GEFS has it developing into something into the higher like tropical storms, some have into hurricanes, so we'll watch out for that one. And then another wave behind it we could watch out for. I'm pretty sure this is just Bud. So Eastern Pacific still pretty active. Let's take a look at what the European thinks. And European is actually much more weaker with this possible developing one. Only a couple show hurricane tropical storm status, and then we have another wave behind it. So there's your update. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day.